In this video, I want to go over what you do if you do not have inverse or identical terms to eliminate. So in this one, we were given two equations. So first we had 2x plus 3y equals 10, and we had 3x minus 4y equals negative 2. In this, we want to look at our x coefficients or our y coefficients and figure out if we can multiply to get to one number. So looking at 2 and 3 for the coefficients of x, what can we multiply both of them to get the same number? Well, we could multiply both of them to get to 6. We could also multiply both of them to get to 12. We could also multiply both of them to get 30, but we're going to figure out the smallest number. You could also do the same thing with the coefficients of y. You could look at 3 and negative 4 and get them to 12, or a different number. But we're going to look at the coefficients of x. So we want to get to where 2 times a number equals 6. We also want to multiply 3 by a number to get to positive 6. So 2 times 3 obviously is 6, and 3 times 2 gives me 6. So we're going to multiply the first one by 3 and the second one by 2. When we do this, we want to also create it where they're inverse terms. So right now, our 6's are going to create positive 6x's. So we want one of them negative, so we're going to choose either the 3 or 2 to be negative. I chose the 2 to be negative. So in the second box, we have 2x plus 3y equals 10, and we are multiplying the whole equation by 3. So we've got 3 times 2x, which gives me 6x. We've got 3 times 3y, which gives me 9y. And then I've got 3 times 10, which gives me 30. So there's one of my equations. My second equation, I have negative 2 times 3x minus 4y equals negative 2. So I'm going to multiply this out, or distribute it out. Negative 2 times 3x gives me negative 6x. Negative 2 times negative 4 gives me positive, so plus 8y. And negative 2 times negative 2, negative times a negative is a positive, so 2 times 2 is 4. Now looking at our 6x plus 9y equals 30, and negative 6x plus 8y equals 4, we do have our inverse terms, so we can add it. It's going to be that negative 6x and that positive 6x. So to solve for one variable, we're going to add the equations. So let's do 6x plus 9y equals 30, and negative 6x plus 8 equals y equals 4, my bad. So because we have inverse, we are going to add. We've got -6 plus -6, so these cancel out. Got 9 plus 8, which is 17y, equals 30 plus 4, which gives you 34. And then 17y divided by 17, 34 divided by 17 is 2. So there is one of our variables. So we solved for one. Now we've got to solve for our other variable. So it does not matter which original equation you choose. It could be 2x plus 3y equals 10, or it could be 3x minus 4y equals -2. Does not matter, whichever one. So I'm going to choose the first one. 2x plus 3y equals 10. And we're substituting in 2 for y. So 2x plus 3 instead of y, I've got 2 equals 10. Got 2x still because I didn't do anything to it. 3 times 2 gives me 6 equals 10. I want x by itself, so I'm going to subtract 6. Subtract 6. 2x equals 4. X is still not by itself, so I'm going to divide. And I've got x equals 2. So my solutions are coming from this x equals 2 and this y equals 2. So, and it's going to be really hard to see, but my solution is going to be 2, 2. Now I wanted to do one of these examples that we did today. So in this example, we do not have inverse or identical terms. So we want to choose one of the terms to get rid of, either the x terms or the y terms. I chose x values, does not matter which one. So looking at our 3 and our 5, what can we multiply 3 and 5 to get the same number? We can multiply both of them to get to 15. So we would have to do 3 times 5 to get to 15, and multiply by 3 to get 5 to 15. So first thing we want to multiply to get to where they have identical terms. So 5 times 3x minus 4y equals 10. We multiply it out or distribute it out. 15x, 5 times -4y, -20y, and then 5 times +10, which is 50. So there's one equation. Then we have our second equation, and we're multiplying it by 3 to get that 5x to 15. So 5x plus 7y equals 3. 3 times 5x gives me 15x. 3 times 7y gives me +21y. And 3 times -3 gives me 9. So we're using our new equations to eliminate one of the terms. So we've got 15x minus 20y equals 50. We've got +15 plus 21, y equals 9. Now, we did not multiply by negative, we only multiplied by positive, positive 5 and positive 3. And we have not inverse terms this time, we have identical terms. Our identical terms are 15x and 15x. So because they're identical, we are having to subtract the equations. So we're having to subtract all of the like terms. So we are taking 15 minus 15, which is just 0, or 15x minus 15x is still 0, so that goes away. Then we have negative 20, subtract positive 21. So this caught a lot of people, and it kind of worried me a little bit. Negative 20 minus 21. So we're gonna, and this takes it all the way back to how we how we add and subtract. Negative 20 tells us where to start on the number line. So let's say negative 20 was here, negative 19 would be on the right side, negative 21, negative 22, so on and so forth down the number line. Negative 20 tells us to start at negative 20. Then the negative sign tells us to go to the left 21 units. So 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. A lot of you told me either positive 1 or negative 1. Moving to the left from negative 20 does not get us to 1. Because both of them are negative, you are adding the numbers together and keeping it negative. So here we would have negative 20 subtract positive 21, so it'd be negative 21y, or negative 41y, my bad, equals 50 minus 9, which gives us 41. Then we have multiplication in between negative 41 and y, so we want to divide by negative 41 to get y by itself. The negative 41's cancel out, and we're left with y equals negative 1. Now that's only half of it. So our solution, again, is going to be an x and y value. And we've already found y is negative 1. We're going to select one of our equations, doesn't matter which one, to substitute that y in. So we've got 3x minus 4y equals 10. Instead of y, we have negative 1. So 3x minus 4. Instead of y, we got negative 1 equals 10. So 3x negative 4 times negative 1 is positive 4 equals 10. We want to move the 4 to the other side, so we are going to subtract. 3x equals positive 6. And then we're going to divide 3, because there's multiplication. Divide 3 on both sides. So we're left with x equals 2. So x equals 2 in our solution. Now, after all of that, if you're asked to check yourself, you've got to plug in x and y values back into one of these equations. So how you do this, and I don't know if it's going to let me do this or not, but for x value, we got 2. So 3, we got 2. and then y value we got -1. So positive 3 times 2 gives me 6, and -4 times -1 gives me positive 4 equals 10. This turns into 10 equals 10, which is correct.